Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the Scratch experts. Now, I had someone over at our house for tutoring, and it took a bit longer than expected, maybe a good 2 hours longer than expected, so I got to record really late, but that's okay. So we're going to go back to our project over here, and first of all, we're going to look over this. Let's see here. 1. Game follows related to theme and game type. Well, we do have a collection game, which Sprite is involved in collecting up the objects to complete the objective of the game. We do have that, so yes. Game mechanics. Introduction. Game title is present. So, game title conveys the area of the game. So, here is our title, SSS. Obviously, that's not a pretty good title, so we gotta start by creating a title. And we can make this title whatever we want, as long as it's related to the game, like it says. So let's just call it, well, what do we call it? Well, it's really up to you. Science Olymp. I don't know if you have to put Science Olympiad, but I'm gonna do that anyways. Oh. Science Olympiad. And let's do survival coin survival. I'm not very creative with titles, guys. So we have our title ready. All right. If you really want your title to be very flashy, extra, and stuff like that, we can create a new sprite. Go to vector mode like usual. Get a text, or write your own text, which would probably be better in this case, and insert title. There we go. And what you can do here is when this is clicked, we want this to go to the top of the screen. We want to go right here at the top. So x equals 0, y equals 180, and we want it to kind of be completely transparent. So set the color effect, or this, in this case, this would be ghost effect 0, or maybe it's 100. There we go. Now that this is invisible, we want it to slowly become visible. So change color effect by 5. That should be good, or ghost effect in this case. And we're going to repeat this. And 25 times, we'll make this 100 again, which is what we want. Now we also want this to move down a little bit, so we're going to change y by -1. So here we go, we have our title, and after this we want this to obviously hide. So there's our title. We're going to wait a little bit, maybe wait 2 seconds. And there's our title. Alright, cool, we have our title. Now, one problem is that the AI just spawns on top of us. That's not good. We want the AI to spawn somewhere, like, say here, or maybe in this corner. So, before anything even starts, we want the AI. So, when this is clicked, we want the AI to start here. So, we want this to start at around, let's do here. Well, let's see here. This position is set to here, or if you just bring this in, it'll be there. So go here, wait about 5 seconds, because that's when this shows. Actually, I can just put this here, and this should spawn right here now. See, yep, there we go. Our AI will spawn there. Alright, that's cool, it's working. Not bad. Alright, now this stage, I would say, is a little boring. I mean, we could add decorations to it, but it needs a little more movement. Like, let's add a scrolling game. Now there's 2 different types of scrolling games. One is where you have different pictures. So let's go here. Say I have this picture here, and then I have this one here, and this is placed right next to this. So when I cross this border, this will appear, and my player will be here instead of here. Now that's kind of like just images of backgrounds, and you're changing the background as you go and changing the character position. There's also the one that's very smooth. So from here, you can see this next background already there, and you just slowly transition into it, kind of like a Mario. So we'll be going over both of those. First, let's change these backdrops to something I guess easier to comprehend and use. So when our character reaches a certain point, so event, let's add another one. Forever, if the character position, let's change this to 1 again, set the default to 1. So when this character position is over, say x equals 220, if, and x position is here, is greater than 220, then we want this backdrop to change. So we're gonna set the position, set the x. We don't want to change the y, because if they're jumping, we don't want to set that y position to be down here or up here or something. So set x to join negative x position, or we can define a number. It doesn't really matter. So join x position, and we also want the AI to change, but AI is kind of questionable because we want the AI to change when the AI reaches this, and there's not really a way to know when the AI reaches this because only one screen can be active, which is just one bad thing about this. There's a way though. So we can calculate the distance between this and x equals 220 and see how much time it takes to get there. And once that certain amount of time passes, then this AI will be spawned here again. But first, let's see if this is working. Yes, it appears to be working. Alright, cool. Now, once we go here, we want this backdrop to change. So we need to broadcast a message. Broadcast, make a new message. Change backdrop. There we go. So once we get the change backdrop, we'll change the backdrop by 1. Or next backdrop. Normally, if you have very many screens, like even a vertical portion, then you would have like a point, like this is 1, 1. This would be 1, 2. It's kind of like a coordinate plane. But in this example, we don't really use that, so we're not going to be using that. But in that case, we'd have to use if conditional statements to see what box they're on, and then if they're on this side, when we want to change the coordinate plane, the x-axis or x position to 1 greater. If they go here, 1 less. If they go up here, 1 over, or x or y position 1 over. Down here, y position 1 under, and we'll change our backdrop accordingly. Alright, so let's see what happens if we go this way. And yeah, there we go. We also want this backdrop to go back to the previous one only if it's in backdrop 2. Because, oops, my bad. If we're here, we're not supposed to be going back to the other one by only going to this wall. That's not how video games work. If it's touching this wall, we want it to go here. Alright, so, in here, if the x position is greater than 220, and the backdrop name, that's why our name was important, and our backdrop name is equal to 1. Does that. Alright, and now if the x position is less than negative 220, which would be over here, and backdrop name is 2. Then we change backdrop again. So let's see if this works. Over here. Yep, that is not working. And now let's go over here. Boom, it works. Now let's go over here. Not working. And let's go over here. That coin's actually unreachable. But it works. Except this character was placed in the wrong position. Alright, that was kind of weird. Let's bug fix. So let's start in backdrop 2 and let's move this way. Yes. We have a slight problem here. We go over here and we go back this way. The character spawns in this position. You also need to make sure the AI doesn't spawn inside something black, because then it's gonna calculate slope, go back down, and then do that forever. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't think this is working. But that's okay, we'll just refresh this like usual. Don't worry guys, if your flash crashes a lot, it's okay. It's all about bug fixing. And if you make a program, you're definitely gonna have some bugs in it. Most likely. And you need to learn how to fix those bugs. So, yep, seems like most of it was saved. We got pretty lucky. Now we need to make sure that this does not spawn at 0. Why is this? So when this is less than negative 220, we're setting that to negative 220 should be here. Why is this here? We have no idea. So let's just change this to 220 individually, and let's see if it works. And whoo, it works. Cool. Now, how do we make the AI move with that as well? Well, that's actually a lot easier than you think, but it's in a quite difficult manner. Why is Flash like this? Alright, so if it's in backdrop 1 forever, if backdrop is 1, and if the character position is greater than this, or actually we can just use an event, because we have our change backdrop event. That would actually be a lot faster. If backdrop is 1, shouldn't have erased that. Backdrop is 1. So if this backdrop is 1, and this blue position, or blue character goes past this line, because when it goes past that line it broadcasts change backdrop. Let me just drink my water real quick. Alright. So when it goes past this position, we want the AI to calculate that distance between this and that wall, and calculate the time it takes for this to get to that wall, and then wait that many seconds and wait for it to appear on that wall again, or over here. Oh boy. Alright, so first, how do we calculate this position? Well, that's 220 and then minus or plus this distance, or 220, which is up to here, 0, 0. Now there are many ways to do this as well. If the red position or ball is 0, x position or higher, is 220 minus whatever x position it's in. Actually, that just works for everything. Alright, yeah, I should really think about this beforehand, but so we need a variable to hold that value. So we're gonna name that variable AI, why is that lowercase, distance. So set AI distance. We don't have to set AI distance to 0 beforehand, because this is the first instance we're going to use it, and we're going to use it after we define it. So set AI distance to 220 minus the position. And then this AI moves at a speed of 2 pixels per second, which does not seem right at all. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, it's moving at maybe 20 pixels per second. Seems like so. Point in direction, change X by speed. Okay, so depending on your monitor and your processing speed, this function will run every so often. And each time this function runs, X is changed by the speed. Now we don't know how fast that is, so we also need to calculate that. You could eyeball it, which probably is the best thing to do right now, because exact calculations can be slightly difficult to do because every computer is different. And if you run code to test it, that code is going to probably severely mess with your speed if you have not the best computer. So it's kind of hard to test this, except for maybe using your phone and then checking with your stopwatch the differences. But from here we can eyeball it. It will say it's about 25 pixels per second. Let's see this. I would say about 25 pixels per second. Maybe 30. We'll stick with 30, alright. Can you not do that? Alright. So we have 30. So we need to divide this AI distance by 30. Instead of just saying AI distance is AI distance over 30, we can just do this entire thing over 30. Because this is going at 30 pixels per second, approximately. And if we cancel everything out, that'll be how many seconds it'll take to reach this spot. Now we could do something like wait this distance. Of course that would work as well, but it's better if we have this predefined, so we can just use AI distance whenever we need it, instead of using this formula every time, because that would just lag the computer more, and who knows if we need AI distance more oftenly. Alright, so let's wait for the AI to spawn. Or actually we needed some method of knowing that we know that this AI has waited this amount of time. Oh, this is the wrong way. Let me set the backdrop to 1 real quick, because that's where we set it to. And alright, let's wait for the AI to spawn. There it goes. And say hi. Should be about 6 seconds maybe. That did not seem to have worked. Oh, it did say hello. That was very delayed. Alright, so 220 is about here. And okay, I might have miscalculated. This might have been 60 pixels. Okay, it's probably faster than 30 pixels per second, my bad. I'll set this to 45. So if this is 220 right here, and this is 00, and this is 45 seconds, that's already 5 seconds it takes. So we can time that to see how long it takes for the AI from 00 to get to 220. Probably around 3 seconds. So 220 over 3 is around 73. So we can assume that it will go 45 and 73 average to 59, but we'll just say 60 for now. So let's wait for the AI to spawn, and that distance should probably be around 5 seconds. And there it goes. So when it says hello, oops, my bad. And Scratch, you're killing me today. What are you doing? Oh my goodness, alright. I can't click anything. So now that we know that we got that working, instead of saying hello, we want this to hide. And then after it's done waiting, we want to go to y equals y position and x equals negative 220. Now, y position won't necessarily work in this case because while it's waiting, it can obviously jump, which is not preferred. So we need to save the y position from before it jumps. So we need another variable for that. So we can say AI y jump. I'm going to set that AI y jump to y position. So later we can have the same y position. Now, if the AI is touching the black color, so that means it's spawned in a wall, then repeat until not touching the black color. Because if we move it one up or down or left or right, and it's still touching, we need it to quickly move out until it's no longer touching. And we want this process to be as fast as possible. So we'll probably end up using a function here. So move out of platform. That should be a good name. So we have our shoot. Move out of platform. I forgot to make this run without screen refresh, so it's actually faster. We need to define move without platform now, and repeat until not touching. We want this to move in, say, elevated y position because it should not be blocking this off. And if there is an obstacle, it will just keep rising until it spawns there. So we want this to increase y by 5 should be a good number, and we want to do this until it's not touching, and that should spawn the AI in a good spot that won't crash Adobe Flash Player. So let's wait for it to spawn, and boom, it's gone. Now once that timer is up, the AI should spawn again because it reached this side. And shoot, we forgot, we have to make it actually show. That would be very preferable. So here we go once again. Oh yeah, that's actually black, so it will actually have physics, which isn't necessarily a good thing. So that was maybe 3 seconds away. So now about 3 seconds has passed. Should be showing. My bad again. This is if it's touching black. It's not touching black. It'll still have to show though. So let's try it. Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's try this one more time. 4 seconds maybe. There we go. So as you can see, it's working. Now we also need one to check if it's backdrop 2. In that case, we need to set this to 220. But anything else isn't really changed except for that this is negative 220. And because we have that installed, it should all be working fantastically now. So here we have our Red marble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there it goes. It spawned in the wrong spot. However, oh my bad, I changed the wrong numbers again. This is why you don't record so late at night. We also have a coin problem which we'll need to solve. Just using my mouse to see where the AI would be. There we go. And I want the AI to move this way a little bit. And that is not working. Alright, let's try that again. Let's move you here. Alright then, the AI distance is -220 minus, and in this negative it should add up, so -220 minus the -110, that should only be 110. Am I missing something here? -20. Oh yeah, this is negative. No, we need this to be positive. So 220, -220, and then the distance between -220 AI, oh my apologies. It's the absolute value of -220 minus X position. There should be an absolute value here. Absolute value. There we go. Alright, now we should check this if it's working one more time. We'll just wait for it to be very close this time. And we killed it. That I don't know what happened. But it happened anyways. Alright, the AI is here now. And it's spawning in the wrong area. This should be spawning at 220. Guys, I really should have thought of this beforehand, but there's no way I'm gonna record this again. Alright, so the AI should be coming back over here this time. And you spawned in the complete wrong area. Alright, if backdrop name is 1, so when I move over here, backdrop name is 1, go to x equals 220, then why are you spawning at such a bizarre location? That's -220. It says 220. You know what? I'm not gonna question. Let's change this to 2 so it's a little speedier. And let's wait for this AI to spawn. And move this way. Spawn here. Why are you spawning there, young man? Please. Alright. If this is spawning there, it's probably due to something else. Because air distance. Okay, that's just the distance. Go to x. This is x equals 220. What in incarnation? Do you not understand? This is x equals 220 right here. Alright, I have no idea what's wrong with this. This definitely says go to x equals 220. There's nothing else that defines the position of this x value. Alright, well, I think this is just a bug with Adobe Flash Player, because I could be wrong. And there's nothing else that sets the x position. Maybe if there's a slight chance that this might fix it. I don't think so. A slight chance. So there's our AI. Move this way. Yeah, okay, it's probably something wrong with Scratch then. Nothing that changes the x position, except for this. But that's just walking. Alright, well that's just a bug. Alright. Now backdrops. If you want this to be smooth, how would you do this? Well, in that case, you want our backdrop to be very long. What I mean by that is I would maybe get this, and I would shrink this. Oh my bad. I don't want it to change dimensions. I'll shrink this. What? No, I want to select everything. Shrink. Alright, well they'll do for now. I want to shrink this so it's about here. And I would get this, copy paste it, and send this to the back. Or actually, I'll just send this forward. Alright, yep, there we go. So I'll have something along the lines of this. And this, we'll just scale this up so we can only see about this much at a time. So I'm going to set our size to big, so it's big. And every time the character moves, so instead of changing x, we'll broadcast change x, and this will be the one changing x. So when we press W, instead of the character moving left or right, this will be moving right or left. I'm pretty sure that's quite self-explanatory on how to do if you're expert level, so I don't think I'll need to explain that. Let's finish our little coin glitch. Pick random if touching this. Repeat until not touching color. If touching character, alright, go there. If touching yeah, okay. That should be fine. It must have been a bug then. If we see it again, we'll fix it. Alright, rubric time. Buttons are used to access other screen options. This would be like the settings and stuff. Buttons to access other screens are present. Buttons are successful in accessing other screens. What would you do in this case? Maybe you want to change your speed. Now, I'm not gonna actually, use this project because that'll take a while. But how you would do such a thing, I think you guys would know how to do this as well. Basically, you will need a button, like a picture of a button, like shop. When the flag is clicked, we want the shop to appear. We want to go to the front so it's not hiding anything. And if it touches the mouse pointer and the mouse down, which means you're clicking, and your shop isn't open. Back in the day, I would say if it's -10 or -1, it's false. If it's 1, it's true. I wouldn't use the actual word itself. So, oh yeah, my achievement system is broken, but that's okay. So if it's touching the mouse pointer and you click it and the shop's not open, well then you open the shop. But after that, we set the shop to it is open. So if it's touching the mouse pointer and mouse down and it is open, and we click this, then it exits the shop. That's how you would add buttons. Help and instructions. Well, you do that same way. You click the button, and in that page that shows up, I didn't actually see the page that shows up, the code behind it. It's pretty simple, though. So in this shop, we set the shop to 10, and then in our shop, this background thing, if the shop is 10, so if the shop is open, then this background will be covering everything. And instead of having a shop button, we can have a settings button, and we can just put text on this saying blah 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 blah, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, or instructions, my bad. On there you can kind of explain all the instructions here. User controlled sprite. We definitely have all this. Acceleration, definitely gravity. Sprite orientation. No sprite. Appropriate direction. Character returns to original position or holds position given by gameplay. Alright, what that means is if you're moving in a direction, then your sprite will be facing in that direction, assuming that your sprite is two-sided. So what I mean, if I get a 8-bit Mario going, so if Mario is facing right, as you can see in this picture, then he'll be looking this way. But if Mario is facing left, there's no left. If Mario is facing forward, he'll be facing this way. So depending on which way he's facing, you're gonna change the orientation of that. Now, I don't think I have an example of that anywhere. Maybe in my trash. So maybe I have to show this. Where's testing chamber? Raise testing chamber, here we go. So there are many ways to do this as well. If you're using a symmetrical object, circular object, or anything that is symmetrical when you activate it. In this case, this little thing, if I press D, or arrow keys, this will rotate. Well, that rotation signals that I'm moving this way. That's pretty cool. If I keep doing it this way, well, yeah, I'm moving that way. And if I touch red, oh no. You can kind of see what I mean by that. That basically means which way am I facing. And if you don't want it to rotate, if you want it to rotate, how do you do that rotation thing? This is the code behind it. Velocity. So we want the rotation to slow down, because we don't want the rotation to last forever. Like, if that rotation lasts forever, that will not be real at all. So if left arrow is pressed, we want this to rotate left. So let me just move this way. We want this to rotate left. And we're setting that rotation to negative 0.25. That means we're rotating by negative 0.25. So we're rotating negative 0.25 degrees, or because it's right, negative 0.25. We're rotating left 0.25 degrees every time the left arrow is pressed. But we're also changing that velocity. So if I press left and left and left more and more and more, I'm changing the spin even greater, because I'm making that velocity higher and higher and higher and higher. But the same time I change it, I'm dividing it by 1.0 something, or multiplying that by 0.98 to make sure that it doesn't last forever. It slows down over time, loses 2/100ths of its speed. Eventually these two will cancel out, so there is a terminal velocity, which is good. And if you want it to just be two-sided, we can just do, if the left arrow is being pressed, face this way. If the right arrow is being pressed, face that way. Or change the costume. That's pretty simple. Autonomous sprites. Movement complexity. We definitely have an autonomous sprite. We advanced movement. We see that with the hitboxes and the artificial intelligence. Technically it can move diagonally. I think this is talking about like a two-dimensional plane game without gravity. if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view instead of, a ground, but I understand. If you guys want to do that, you just use the first one, and we can add gravity similar to the one we have in our system, or using the velocity system, except instead of rotation, it's obviously movement. Sprite Orientation. Sprite faces appropriate directions. Yes, we already went over that. Collision Management. Sprite Interactions. Definitely. In this game, we'll definitely see that collision very well, because all the sensing we did. Environmental Interactions. Oh, this is Sprite Interactions, I bet. So if you get a coin, then you get a score. If you touch the AI, you die. All that jazz. Just drinking water again. And environmental interactions, we obviously got that with the walls and platforms and stuff. Scorekeeping functions properly in game. Well, we have our score shown right there, which is good. And scoring does not appear on screen. We have our scoring appear on screen. Debriefing, clear outcome of game. Yes, when when you get touched by the AI, then there's no win or lose. It's just forever. If you want it to be win or lose, you could say if your score is greater than 10, then say you win and stop all, or show a picture that's above everything that says you win in fancy letters or something. Clear outcome of game, we did that. Gameplay stops. Game does not have an end. Okay, well, we probably need to add that. If the game does not have an end, so let's create a new sprite real quick. I don't think there's a game over one there. Quickly, I'm just putting this together quickly because I am nowhere near remotely interested in a game end, because that's not my type of game. But you guys probably will need that. So let's just add our text in dark blue that says you win. Yay! And let's make this a tiny bit bigger. So let's use our mouse. Make this bigger. Rotate this. You win! And maybe you want to add some decorations. So forever if, and then greater than 10, or actually let's do 9. 9 score, then go to front, show, and then let's do the if else. So when you start the game, it will not show because your score is not greater than 9. So there we go. And we want to obviously stay in the center. So I'm not gonna what do you play the entire thing. So see, you win. Obviously if the air touches you, then you die, and you want that the text box to not show, so you want to add this. So that should work. Items remaining on screen are appropriate. The AI disappears because we moved through the screen, and it reappears after a certain amount of time. That's good. End of game options are available. Option to replay or start over present. Option to replay, start over works. No idea what that means, but I'm pretty sure that means after you win, do you want to restart? Now that is a pretty simple thing to do. What you have to do is change all of these to, instead of when this green thing is cleared, it's when you get a message. First thing that happens though is broadcast that message that says start everything, which will start all things, and that will only happen once. And like we did with the before, we can have a button right here that we can press after the game ends or before the game ends. So we just put it in front. If you click it, Then we broadcast start game or whatever, which activates all this again and cancels everything that we did so far, resets the entire game, and that'll work. Now obviously I won't be doing that because we'll look at the time. Documentation, coding comments included. Okay, well, just go into coding and say add comment. This is used to walk in a certain direction. We will repeat this code 10 times before the AI notices that the player has changed course and it must too. Alright, yeah, just add comments everywhere explaining everything. Code organization. Elements are named or titled. Well, that's basically saying, okay, so are these variable names appropriate? Are these functions appropriate? You know, are these appropriate? So I should probably name this something along the names of left hitbox. If I can press anything, Scratch is killing me today. You guys get what I mean though. Just name everything accordingly. Main sections of coding explained. So basically comments again. Clearly in comments. You gotta explain in comments. Wait, I already went past that. Elements are named or titled. Elements are logically grouped and organized. What does that mean? That means that the organization of the code and what each code does is organized. So if I said here, okay, so this is the walking is defined by this function that will define everything else as well. It's just if you want me to walk, I'll do this. If you want me to walk, I'll do this. If you want me to run, I'll do this. If you want to change speed, I'll do this. But this other function, this will lead back to a different function. That's not organized. That's all cross functioning. I mean, it's definitely more secure. It's not gonna work. So, oh geez, this recording is getting long. Okay, elements are like, okay, coding is efficient. This has nothing to do with efficiency, but it says coding is clearly available. So you right click, clean up. Wow, that's pretty neat. Oh, my bad. Clean up. Wow, that's all you have to do. Gameplay, science of theme. Well, I don't know, you can make this into a story, so basically have a lot of these and say something like, okay, so you are an object. You do not know why you are here. It's probably, this is not even science, this is other subjects as well. But you know you are conscious. You know that if you press W, you will jump up in the air. Now obviously I'm doing this very sloppily, and you guys can do this way better than I can. If you press A and D, you will move side to side. Alright, good. I don't even fix typos. You also know that your jump is defined by a non-linear equation in a quadratic or exponential sense. I don't know, guys. You also know that potential energy is what, mv squared over no. What was this again? You know that potential energy is mass times mass times height times gravity, and mass equals mass in grams, h equals height in meters, g equals 9.8 meters per second. You can add these facts like this, and then you can say, you also know that this slope is blah blah blah. And you can even add the coding concepts in there, or thinking, like, I don't know, processing. It's really up to you. You can give it a theme. Approaching scientific principles applied to well, boom. All right, cool. Scientific explanations include boom, because more height is more energy. Jupiter has more potential energy. You know, if you jump higher. Mass. You know, you gotta be heavyweight to land those heavy punches. Yeah. 0.5 points. Or I mean, pay close attention to those small details. Yeah. Graphics, quality graphics, guys. You see this ellipse that we've fulfilled to quality, or you can just add a picture online. So if I look up Mario and then download that picture and up. Scratch, why are you like this? And I can just upload that sprite from the file, and boom, cool. Oh, custom. Well, you just look up cool free non download image maker. Boom. Alright, first link, photo editor. Photo. The pixel art maker. Yay! Cool. That works. Alright, nice. Quality complexity of autonomous. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure this AI is pretty complicated. You guys can probably add some more functions in there. I'm just, kind of being lazy. I mean, showing you quality content. Background, guys. It's important. You want to add those Mario. Oh, that's not filled in. Add those hills. Look, amazing. Quality hill right there. Wow. I know, guys. My artistic capabilities are insane, out of your mind. You guys can do better than me, obviously, in that too. I'm on a time management club. That's why I have to, 10% chance that's the truth. Sound. Sounds are appropriate. Well, okay. Sounds. How do you add sounds? We haven't really went over this, so you might not notice, so I guess I should explain this. Get out of here. So, when our character is walking, we want to say, that Minecraft sound, like that gravel, you step in the gravel. We want to say that sound to play. Now, obviously, I don't have that sound downloaded, Where to find sounds in Minecraft? There we go. Okay, so Minecraft support. Where's support? Oh, library, application support. Let's go. Where's library? Libraries. What do you mean application support? There's no application support. What version is this? You know what? Don't worry about it. Pretend I have that Minecraft sound. Alright? Yeah, cool. So basically, what you want to do is you want to add that sound. So sound. Play sound until done. Or you can add instruments if you want. But that would kind of create a lot of lag. So play sound here while you're walking. And that sound, which is meow in this case, this is the duration. This is sound if you want to play it. This is if you want to stop the sound in midway, and if you want to pause it. That's the microphone volume if you're recording, and well, just edit. And this is effects, name, and this is from the library of sounds. So footsteps, there you go. There's our footsteps, cool. And we want footsteps to play. No, did I not add you? Oh, I gotta click on you. Alright, footsteps. See? Boom, you got sound. And then maybe if you want jump, you want to add a jumping sound right here. And maybe if you want a wind conditional sound, you add a sound right there too. Complexity of sound. Good luck. No, I'm just joking. If you want to actually make a sound, look up free downloadable sounds. If you want to make your own like a music piece to go in the background, I don't know what to tell you. If you have a MIDI creating software, you should probably use that. If you don't, just use online sequencer. And boom, online sequencer. Make music online. And make whatever you want. Here's your tempo, title, draw, which is for notes. If you want to select stuff, you can copy paste it. If you want to erase stuff, play from a certain point. And these are all the instruments you can choose. This is if you want your certain instruments to be certain volumes. Copy paste, zoom out, zoom in, save, stuff like that. If you want your notes to be longer or shorter. If you want there to be a key guide to help you along. And if you want your auto scroll, which doesn't really matter. And you can record this sound or download the MIDI file and use Symphesia or something. And that's how you get your sound. Alright, speeds are appropriate for the game. Alright, so you don't, basically it's saying, don't make your little this thing so fast. What in the baloney? I am not the, oh, the background's red. That was actually all anticipated and planned. I was making myself look bad so it looks like there's less competition and they don't have to prepare as much. Wow, so cool. Alright, we can hear that footstep. It's kind of quiet though. Alright, that should be at appropriate speed. And autonomous sprite has the same speed. Movements are inappropriate for gameplay. I mean, there's not really a movement. If you guys want like a really good project to get your images from, look up Griff Patch. Griff Patch. Where is? Why are all these about him and there's nothing on him? Okay, Griff Patch, there we go. So this guy has a little platformer tutorial thing that you guys will probably like. It's not here. Of course it's not. Oh, there it is. So in here you can see all the code behind each of the steps, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So he also has all the steps. So yeah, here he has gravity. Boom. And this is standing firm. This is walking. Oh, yay, you can walk. Walls, jumping. Work. Yeah, here he gets jumping. He guides you through everything, even hitboxes. And right here, he has animations. You can use these animations for your advantage. That's basically what it wants there. So Here. See, it's pretty cool. He's animated and he's moving. Basically, when you're pressing A or D, you cycle through these movements. And when you're pressing D, you cycle through these movements mirrored. Or no, the other way around. When you press D, you cycle through these movements. If you press A, you cycle through these movements mirrored. That's basically what's happening here. And if you jump, obviously if you press W, you'll cycle through the jumping movements. That's how you basically add animation. I definitely do not have time to make all these costumes, which are pretty nicely made. And yeah, movement. We already went over that. Impressions. Alright, so basically you just gotta add a flash bang, amazing, over the top intro, and boom, you're done. And finally, last but not least, judges' interpretation. Okay, well, this is biased opinion. I can't help you with your French teacher that you got an F in their class. I can't help you if that judge is that French teacher or that Spanish, Korean, English, Java teacher. I don't know. Can't help you. And you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be your worst teacher that's up there. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new and you can do things for Science Olympiad now. And yeah, until next time. Oh, actually, I should probably share this. And I'll probably link this so you guys can see this project. Warning. Does not contain batteries. Alright, so yeah, I'll share this right now. Please do not steal this project, by the way. You can remix it if you want, but here's the project. 2542-49946, pretty simple enough. And yeah, until next time, don't forget to turn on your sticky keys.